everyone, it's Lynette with Grammy Crochet. How are yous today? Oh shoot. Move something I didn't mean to move. I am just going to welcome you into the recovery room. We are packing up and trying to get to things still back there we didn't get to, but we're packing up little by little. So it's kind of a mess around my entire house. Things are coming off the walls and out of the closets and out of the drawers, and it's kind of crazy. But my husband is off taking care of me, as you know, from my knee surgery, and he's bored. So I sit there and say, keep, toss, and the poor man is doing all the work. Sorry. Yeah, and anyway, so welcome into the recovery room. I just have a short video. I did do some more crocheting. So it's Wednesday Wipeout with Laura from Mimi's Crochet and Farming was yesterday. And the Boggy Creek unboxing last night with Tracy from Crochet Rocks. Did you guys get to catch it? It was on my channel. If you didn't watch it, it was so exciting to have her there. We had a lot of people in there, and we did it early because of Tracy being, on the other side of the pond, and her hours and time frame is way different than mine. And so, anyway, I'm just trying to be able to move my leg a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we thought she was gonna come in, show her blanket, which was gorgeous, and you guys should try it, and then poof off because it was late at her, in England. But she stayed the whole time, and I was really excited for that. So that was really cool. So if you want to, she visited, she commented here and there on the blankets as they all unboxed. So that was really, really, really cool. But as I said, today is my Wipeout Wednesday. I think I owe you two to show you what I've made. Not in any order, but you've seen these. So Laura from Mimi's Crochet and Farming got this book, which, sorry to say, is downstairs because I started the next one and I was downstairs. But these are the ones that I've made so far. Every week we do another washcloth out of a book. It's an Annie's crochet book, 52 weeks of washcloths. So you're supposed to make one a week. We're making one a week. I liked this one. And that being said, I got behind during the surgery, and now I've gotten caught up, and I'm on the right week. This one does have a 3D little mouth sticking out there. So the first one that I missed and made up, in the book, it's blue background, but this is my house, so it's purple. And then the past week was this one, and I really like, I think they did not a very great job of how you put this together because you made it in two separate pieces. You made the hexagon, the granny hexagon, and then you made the snowflake and you sewed it on. And I thought, so you had to like stretch it out, and it could have been way better. I think it could have been put together as one piece and it would look better. Because as you're trying to sew it on and it's cotton and it's not staying right. So I was a little disappointed in the construction, but I love this. And I talked in my last video about making hexagons out of some of my scraps for Boggy blankets. And I think I really like that idea. And I might play around with that. I have my scrap yarns up here just from the last blanket I made, which was all the rain. And I showed you that, so you've seen it, but it's, excuse me, all the neon colors. So I'm thinking I might do that. I did start another project. I know I have projects I didn't complete yet, like my syrup project. I just really, I'm not thrilled with the syrup project. No one's fault. I just can't work on it very long. And then I get itchy or whatever because it's, I picked a wool yarn. but I want to make this for my daughter. But it's not fun for me. And so I'm going to trudge through, and I really have to put my foot down and yell at myself and say, work on this project. But I've had other more fun choices. So I kind of worked on those. And the cat's meow, I have to work on that too. But Chloe said, Grammy, will you make me a scarf for my not boyfriend? He's going to be spending the winter in Washington State, and it's cold there. And he's from North Carolina. So they met at school, at college. So I said, of course. And she went in, I said, let's go yarn shopping. So she was here when I was still on narcotics, and she was looking at yarns, and anyway, we picked out this puzzle yarn. So it's a 5-weight, and the color is crossword. Don't ask me. Crossword is a puzzle. And I finished it. I just haven't exactly measured it, but I asked Juan last night, how long do you make a man's scarf? He doesn't want anything like, I mean, I just want it to be regular man's scarf size. And Juan said 150 rows. I'm like, I'm not counting this. Give me feet and inches. And so he said 6 foot. I think he said 6 foot, or as tall as the man plus a foot, because to go around the neck. And I said, oh, okay. So I found out that this will fit him. So this is what it looks like. Oh, I took them off already. I went to take my glasses off. It's still attached because my crochet hook and all that stuff is downstairs. I took that down and never cut the yarn yet. But it is, I'm calling it complete because I just have 2 ends to sew in. And so, you know, you get the idea. It'll look like this. And look at the stitch. It's, I think they call it the moss stitch. I looked through some of my crochet books, and I had a vintage book, and it said something about them, you know, just an everyday scarf. And I went, oh, I like that stitch. And so I went to the book, to the pattern. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And it said chain, I don't remember. And then proceed with the appleseed stitch. I don't know that stitch. Never heard of that stitch. So I YouTubed how to crochet the appleseed stitch. Nobody knows that stitch. There's seed stitch. And anyway, I like started scrolling through some, I guess this could also be called the linen stitch, but I think I scrolled through until I found a stitch that I liked. And I apologize, but I don't remember who the tutorial was from. I'm like, oh, I like that. And I watched it, and I could comprehend what she was saying, and I did this. And I believe that she said it was the moss stitch. So other people have agreed with me that that's the moss stitch, and there's lots of tutorials on YouTube on how to do that, and I guess it's also called the linen stitch. So I'm sure that if you want it, I just crocheted chain 20 because I wanted it to be big enough, and I used an 8mm hook, my clover, chain 20. And now the thing with the moss, with this stitch, moss, linen, whatever, you chain 20, then you go back and you do a single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, chain 1, skip 1, and you do that all the way across. Now people say they have a hard time, and I did. I started this, I ripped it out and tried it again because I was getting wonky. And then Bree from Breezy's Crafty Creations.
Hello.
Give me 1 minute. You can come in. Hi, just 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I got company. My daughter-in-law and granddaughter came over to help me clean out some of my craft stuff that I'm no longer going to need. I'm no longer going to save. Let's say that. It's not that I don't need it. Um, well, I guess I never needed it, but anyway, I'm not storing it while we are traveling and moving around the country. So they were glad to take that stuff off my hands. So I was saying on my granddaughter's friend's scarf, the issue that I had is that when you get to the end, you have this single crochet, and then oh wait, let's go to this end because you can't tell there, but you have this single crochet stitch. Let's, come on, focus on. So you have this single crochet right here, and then there's this little tiny hole where you chained two, and you need to work into that hole. But when you're coming along here, at least for me, I kept thinking I needed to come into the actual right here between that. I don't know if you can tell. So I kept thinking that I needed to put my stitch marker or my needle, my hook, into this hole, not this hole. And so my thing was going all wonky. So I started, Bree from Breezy's Crafty Creations said she puts a stitch marker when she does this stitch in the chain two space, on the chain two. So now if I was going to continue this row, I would do this chain two, and this stitch marker would go around that chain two, and then I need to put my hook as close to that stitch marker as I can possibly get, and I'm in the right space. And then all of my rows came out nice and even. I'm like, that is the best tip in the world for doing the moss or linen stitch. So I just wanted to fill you in on that, because when I was in Zoom and people were talking about it, others were saying the same thing. They have a hard time keeping the edge straight. And it turned out pretty good. So Bree had the solution, and I wanted to pass that on to you guys as well. I did not use a full skein of this yarn, so I'm wondering if I should make him a beanie to go with the scarf. I mean, that would be kind of cute, right? I have 3 skeins of this, so I could make him a beanie. I think all guys wear beanies, don't they? If it's going to be cold, it's going to be cold. So I might look for just an easy beanie stitch. I would love, I wonder, would be really good on my knitting machine, but I don't know how 5-weight yarn works on my knitting machine. But just like a little knit hat in the same yarn. I don't know how to knit a hat. I guess I could, like knit this and then, gather it, just make it longer, and then they would match, but just crochet this in the same stitch. What do you think? Oh, I need to talk to people that make way more hats than me and see. Usually you do like 60 stitches around, right? At the top of the increases? Why can't you do that? Maybe there's a tutorial on crocheting a moss stitch beanie. I'm gonna look for that. Because I think that would be a great idea. So I'm going to take that downstairs, and when I left you, it was early afternoon, and now it's early evening. It's been several hours. We went through all the craft stuff, and then then I ate dinner, and now I need to sit on a comfy chair and relax for a while. So crocheting is definitely what's going to happen. And maybe a crocheted moss hat beanie. I love the idea. What do you guys think? So anyway, that is all that this is going to be today, and I'm sorry for the interruptions there. I don't know if I can edit that wait a minute, hold it thing at the end of the previous video, and then I just ended it and came back. I'll try to get rid of that. If you see it, you see it. It's a blooper. sometimes bloopers get to stay in. And so that'll be what happened. And so I just want to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, hitting the thummies, doing all the things that YouTube loves. You'd think I was still on those drugs. I'm not, though. So thanks for doing all the things that YouTube loves. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope to be able to make them more often. I think I'm going to start bagging up some yarn again. But I'm feeling better and better every day, which means more packing and hopefully more crocheting. But packing doesn't necessarily mean just yarn, so, you know, there's a lot of packing to do in this house. We've lived here 35 years. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.